Changing careers can be really scary, but it doesn't have to be. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 essential tips that help me transition from the nursing world to the nonprofit world. All right, tip number 1, and this might be the most important one, is networking. Building relationships and making connections in whatever your target industry is. For me, it's the nonprofit world. I work with youth in downtown Phoenix, and so the first thing I did was called as the CEO of another youth leader development nonprofit organization and just picked his brain. And he was able to give me some really good advice and help me chart my course forward. If I hadn't reached out to him initially, it would have taken me a lot longer to get where I am right now. The other thing that networking has allowed me to do is build friendships with people, like real genuine friendships that I know are gonna last a really long time. And if it hadn't been for a focus on networking in the first year or two of this career transition, I wouldn't have those friendships and relationships now. Networking also gives you opportunities that you may not have just on your own. For example, there are a few youth pastors in our city that have invited me to speak for their youth groups because of this networking, because I've built relationships with them. We have some mutual trust and I get some opportunities. I also get to write a blog because of this networking that I've done. It's been really beneficial and helped me grow. Okay, tip number 2 is to, at the very beginning when you're making this transition, assess your skills and see what you need to develop. Now, some of those skills are going to be able to transfer from your previous career. For me, it was nursing. So I had things like leadership development from my years as a manager. As a nurse, I'd learned how to handle a crisis. I knew how to prioritize different things. I could see things, I could see systems and evaluate them and then adjust them. So that was incredibly helpful to identify those strengths and use them right away when I transitioned from nursing to a nonprofit. There were a lot of things that I had to learn how to do. One of them being fundraising. Fundraising was not something that I'd really ever focused on or done before. And it truly is a craft that you have to hone. And I had to really focus in on what makes a good fundraising pitch, how you do marketing, what's the mission and vision of your organization. So learning new skills quickly is essential to making that transition and identifying them quickly. Tip number 3 is to focus on your mindset and perseverance. If you have a growth mindset, meaning that you're ready to learn new things and that you want to move forward, you're going to be way more successful than if you are resistant to change and you're just going to stay in the same place. No matter what, you're going to face setbacks and you're going to face rejection. I've had many people tell me no, or who have not called me back or not answered an email when I'm wanting to connect with them, whether it's networking or fundraising. I've also had ideas for programs that I thought were great, but when we started to put them into practice, they failed miserably. So being able to move on from those setbacks and look at everything as a learning opportunity is really important. Tip number 4 is seeking support. A support system is going to be so beneficial for you as you transition from one career to the other. You can't do anything alone. What's the old proverb? If you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go farther, go together. It's so important to have people around you that are going to support you through this whole thing. And one of the key roles that somebody can play in your life is a coach or a mentor. So finding somebody that has some experience, that's willing to ask you hard questions, and meeting with them consistently can be really impactful. I have a mentor that I meet with every month, and we have a very specific agenda or goal for each time that we meet. There are specific questions that they're asking me and that I'm prepared to answer. And it really helps me keep my focus clear, my vision clear on what I need to do, maybe some areas that I need improvement. So being open to others' input and then having people supporting you that are in your corner that want you to succeed is really important. Remember, you don't have to do this alone, nor should you. The last tip, number 5, is take action. Just do something. I had to, on my very first day, create a step-by-step plan for what my first week was going to look like. And it involved just introducing myself to people. There was a plan for getting to know the students that we're working with, talking to the school, collaborating in that. But they were very simple and forward direct steps that were going to get me through that first week. Now, we've moved on from just week to week planning. We're doing monthly planning, we're doing quarterly, yearly, long-term planning. But the important thing is that we don't just plan, but we take action. There's actually something that you do. So I would just really challenge you right now. What is the one thing that you can do as soon as this video is done that's going to move you forward? Just getting that one thing done. As it could be as simple as creating a to-do list. It could be as simple as doing the first thing on that to-do list. What's something that you can finish up in 20 seconds or less? What's something that you can do in 5 minutes or less? Do that one thing and move forward. That's been really helpful for me, because sometimes I get really overwhelmed in this new career because it's just that it's new and I don't know what to do first. So even just picking something, it can be really, really helpful and helps create momentum, and you can avoid procrastination by doing that. All right, let's recap. First thing, networking. So important. Make those connections. Number 2, assess your skills, the skills that you already have, and then the ones that you need to develop. Thirdly, have a growth mindset and don't be afraid to fail. Number 4, seek support. Make sure you have a mentor or a coach that can walk through this with you every step of the way. And finally, number 5, take action. Do something. Find something that is simple and that you can get done right now and go do it. Let me know if you're transitioning careers or thinking about it. Leave a comment and make sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.